All right, it is 11 o'clock over here on the West Coast, so I think we'll get started. Hello, thanks for joining. I hope you're all having a good morning or a good afternoon, depending where you're joining from. My name is Ruby Arnold. I am a solutions strategist at Adacado, and I'm here today to show you a feature in Adacado, the Adacado platform, called the template editor, which allows you to edit themes. So I hope you'll find this useful, and let's get started. So this is kind of our schedule for this this half hour. I'm just going to talk a little bit about why we would want to edit themes. I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'll give you some notes and resources. Feel free to ask any questions you have along the way in the chat box for GoToMeeting, and at the end of the session, if there's any questions, I will answer them. So this is a one session in a series of sessions of webinars that Adacado is doing. So they're happening weekly. There's all sorts of topics, so feel free to check them out. This one in particular is covers a little bit more advanced features. So it's not necessary. It's kind of if you want to go above and beyond and take your creative to the next level. But this is not necessary to use Adacado at all. It's just, you know, if you want to find out more about what the system can do, this is a good spot for you. So with that, I am assuming some basic understanding of the interface and that you've already set up an advertiser and a campaign. If you haven't, then this is kind of jumping ahead a little bit. But hopefully there's still something here for you, and I will be giving some links to support documents to help you out with those basic steps. So feel free, but just so you know, it's a little bit more advanced. All right. So before I jump into the platform, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the theme structure that we have in Adacado. So, and hopefully this will just kind of round out the knowledge of how the ads work. So kind of the basic building block is a template. So a template is the definition of what your ad is going to look like. So it's a particular size. So in this case, this is a really common size. It's a 300 by 250 pixel ad. And a template might have your logo, a CTA, just a call to action button. It might have product data, all sorts of stuff. And that combination creates a template. From a template, we have what we call storyboards. The storyboards are essentially your ad. They are made up of one or more templates. So you might just have one, and that would be, you know, a single framed ad. But you might also have multiple templates, and that would be in the case that you wanted to have kind of transitions between different products, say. So most of our themes are set up with a 5 template storyboard setup. And from there, when you have all of these individual storyboards, you get your theme. So it's these 3 parts altogether. So you have your 160 by 600 here, and this storyboard, so this ad, is made up of 5 templates, and likewise for these other sizes. And there it is all together. So that's the basic structure of the ads and themes. So editing a theme, why you would want to do that is because maybe you want to change the way that it looks. So, you know, in the example I had there, everything was red, and that's great for Adacado, but maybe your brand color is blue or yellow. So you can change the button color by editing a theme. You can change where the text is, what the text looks like. You could also add or remove data fields, so such as product price, the image, description, whatever. Whatever's in there, you can change up. This could also help if you want to do something called A/B testing, which may or may not be a familiar term. I'm not going to go into it so much, but this could help you there. All right, so let's dive into the demo. So I'll switch over here. So I am in the Adacado platform right now. And like I said, I've already set up my account and I've created an advertiser as well as a campaign. So for this demonstration, I've come up with an example advertiser, which I've called Marker. Actually, it's based on this theme here, which I just made last week. So my idea with Marker is that it's an e-commerce shop selling art supplies online. So I'm just getting started with the platform. I've set up my advertiser and I've started the campaign. I've gone through the setup process. I've added my data feed, and I am now here at the theme store. We call it the Creative tab. So here I can choose a theme. So as you can see, there's a lot of themes to choose from. So for this, because I'm going to be editing a theme, I'm going to pick something that kind of has the general idea of what I want for my ads. We'll also show you too that because I've created a retail advertiser, what I'm seeing here are retail themes. So we look at the filters here and say switch this to auto. You can see that there's a bunch of different themes for auto as well. And you can actually use these cross-vertical, but some of the data fields won't be set up quite properly, you know, because as a seller of art supplies, I'm not going to have mileage in my my data feed for my products. So, but it can be done. So back to retail. So lots of themes to choose from. I've decided that, where is it? Delford. I'm going to use Delford. This has the basic kind of structure that I want. And I can look at, I can simply select it by choosing the check mark. If I press this guy, I can look at the other storyboards in the theme and get a sense of it. That's what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and choose it. All right, so here we are. So like I said, I've already added product data to my campaign. So my products are showing up here. Usually when I create themes, I do it before I add data into it. It can be a little bit easier, but for demonstration purposes, it's simpler to show it with data. You can do it either way. It's fine if you have data in there. It's fine if you don't. It's just kind of a matter of preference. So hopefully this looks somewhat familiar. These are our ads here. So our theme, Delford. You can see by looking at the navigation that there's 5, oops, clicked on the ad itself. There's 5 products being shown in here. So that means that this storyboard for this ad size has 5 templates in it. Up here, I can change the name of the theme if I want to. It doesn't really matter, but I like to make it personalized. I'll save it as marker. You can see these are the 5 products that have been loaded in. And over here is where we can add some data. So for this one, all that I really need to add is a logo, because I'm not actually Delford Furniture. I'm Marker, right? So if I just click on this guy here, and I have a folder open on my computer, and I'm just going to drag in the Marker logo that I've created. There it is. Cool. So I can hit save now. Actually, one more thing. I think I want to change the CTA text. That's the other thing that you can change here that will affect the ads. So I'm just going to make it say shop instead. So there is spots here for product title, product price, for the product image, and also for the URL. However, these fields are actually replaced by data, so we're not going to see anything if we type it in there. So there's no point really, since we have data added. So I'm just going to go ahead and save that. And at this point, we're done. This campaign is ready to go. If I wanted to do retargeting, I would place a pixel. Other than that, I'm ready to use these ads, either pass them on to my DSP or use the internal media buying option. So if I go to the publish page and preview, I will pop open, and there it is. So these are my live ads. So there's really everything beyond this is, extra. But since the topic of this session is how to edit a theme, let's jump into doing that. So I'm going to take my 300 by 600 here, and up here we have these little icons with text that that tells you about the dimensions. So that's this guy, that's this guy, this one's this one. I think I actually don't want these ad sizes. I'm not going to be running mobile ads, so I'm going to go ahead and delete these ones. I could leave them in there and just not traffic them, but why leave them in there if I'm not going to use them? Okay, so so I'm going to go ahead and click on the 300 by 600 here, which will take me into the storyboard view. So here you get a sense of the templates and the relationship to the storyboard. So these all look the same, but they're filling with different product data. So these are the same template, just being added to this storyboard multiple times. And so they're filling with individual product data. So down here, we have this edit template button. So this is the button that we are going to press momentarily. I just want to give one note about this. There are some themes that you can't edit. The majority you can, but there are a few which you cannot. And in those cases, this button won't show up. So if you're wondering why you can't edit a theme, that's why. If a theme uses, or rather, if a template uses multiple products per ad, then this option won't be here. So if it's we call a multi-view ad, so it's showing multiple products on one template, they are not editable this way because they went through a different process to be created. Anyhow, this one is, so let's go check it out. All right, so here we are. This is the template editor. So you can see the template here and kind of where the different bits of data sit, and see this like slight yellow dashed outline kind of indicates the different elements. We call them widgets. So there's a widget for logo and for product image and for all the bits of text, all of that stuff. So I think for now, I'm just going to go ahead and change this background color. So what I did is I just clicked on the CTA button, and when you click on a widget, it brings up options here on the right-hand side. So I'm just going to click on the CTA button and change the background color. And I'm just going to change it to black. I have a black logo, and I think that's just going to work better for my brand. So you notice here for the logo and for the CTA text, I had changed my logo to marker, but here it says Delford again. And I changed my CTA text to just say shop. Now it says shop now again. So what's happening here is that these are the placeholder. They're like the default values that are used. And if they've been replaced back in the theme view, it won't show here. But it will when we go back to our ads. So I'm just gonna make that one change. I'm gonna hit save. Would you like to return to the storyboard view? Yes, proceed. All right, and so here we are, and you can see that the button has been updated on all of these templates. And actually, if we go to the ad preview and refresh, you can see that it's been changed here too. So we've still only done the one template, so it's not going to show up here. But this change is live. So if I was already trafficking these ads, this would be updated. So just something to know, and you know, it's awesome that it's so fast. It's instant. So let's go back here. Okay, and let's go back and edit again. Okay. So just to like give a little bit more information here. So on the left-hand side here, up here we have just kind of some settings that relate to the template as a whole. So we have a name. We can choose a background color and a border color and a border width. In this case, we've actually used, it's pretty slight, but it can scroll in here with the mouse wheel. You can also scroll in by adjusting the value here. There is a background. It's actually a little bit transparent, but there is this like geometric background here. So background color, not necessary here, but you can, if you just want a solid color, this is how to do it. It's also where you can change the border color. A note about border color, it is best practice to not use a white or a black border because we don't want our ads to disappear into the page that they're being displayed on. Because it can end up being a little bit sneaky and deceptive. So it's best practice to use either like some sort of gray. You can use a light, medium, or dark gray, or any other color that matches your brand. but stay away from the white or the black for if you want to observe the best practices for display ads. Over here, there are more widgets. Here's product title, product description, product image. So all of these guys are, they require product data. So you can see the little tooltip says when you hover over them. So when you add them, they'll be filled with the corresponding data, depending on what's available in your own product data. So obviously, if you don't have anything set for condition, then it's not going to work. But just to know that they're there, and they also do vary per vertical. So if we were doing a auto template, you would see different placeholders here because there's different data associated with auto campaigns. These ones up here, the basic widgets, so text and image, navigation as well, they don't come from product data. So you can add them and they'll just stay as they are. So that's what this background image is. And I think that is actually the next thing that I'm going to change. So just have the image selected. I can click the change button up here and drag in this image here. So because I'm selling art supplies, I thought it would be kind of cool to have this colorful watercolor painted background. So I found this on a stock image site that lets you use images there free without any attribution. So they're great resources. I'll actually link to a couple of the ones I use in the slides. But yeah, so this is starting to look more on brand for me. The one other thing that I think I'm going to do is I don't think I want to show price for my ads. So I'm actually just going to click on this and delete it. And now there is no more price on my template. To make text, make it look a little bit more aligned, I'm going to drag this box down here and just make it so that it's vertically centered within the space here. Again, this text is going to be replaced. It's just placeholder text. For a text box, you can change the alignment. So this is the horizontal alignment. This is the vertical alignment. You can change the color of the font itself. You could give this box a background color if you wanted to, as well as a border. One other thing to point out, two more. One is fonts. You can use one of the fonts that's available here. You can also upload your own custom fonts. Google Fonts is a great resource for finding new fonts, but I would imagine for most people, this would be just the way to upload the font that you already use for your brand. So you can make your typography consistent between the brand and the ad. You can change the font size and also the line height, which is the vertical space between lines of text. And the last one that I wanted to note is just this max characters. This just tells you how many characters will be displayed before the text gets cut off with an ellipses, so a dot, dot, dot. So just something to keep in mind. Right now, this should work perfectly fine. I could actually probably increase it a little bit because I made my box bigger, but I'm going to leave it at 75. I think this is going to work for my products. So with that, I am going to hit save and go back to the storyboard view. And there we are. There it is. go back to themes. As you can see, just I've updated the one 300 by 600, so I still have these sizes left to go, but it's relatively quick. When I was preparing for this demo, I managed to do all of them in probably 10-15 minutes or so. So once you get familiar with the interface, it's pretty quick, especially if things are roughly how you want them to begin with. So that's why you want to kind of choose a theme that has things placed in the kind of relative position that you want them to show up, just so that you have a little less work to do. I'm going to jump back to the slides, but before I do, I just want to mention one more thing in the platform, which is that there's actually two ways to do what I just did. So there's the way that I showed you, where you come into the storyboard and you edit the template from this button. There is actually another way to do it, and that is through this menu here and going to My Templates. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in the slides, but I just want to point out, I'm not going to go through this method, but I just want to point out that it is there. So let's jump back to the demo slides. Okay. So this is about the note that I just made. So this is the method that we just went over, editing the templates via the storyboard. If you can, I would suggest to do it this way. This is a faster approach, and it's just easier. It's gonna, yeah, faster and easier. However, it does come with the caveat that you can't reuse the templates in other campaigns or themes. So those edits that you make are confined to the theme that's in your campaign. So for most cases, this is going to be fine. But if you do want to reuse it, then I suggest looking into the My Templates method. It's a little bit slower to bring it into the campaign, but it's more versatile over time. So just in summary, today we talked about the theme structure that we have in the Adacado platform, why you would want to edit a template, what the benefits are, how you would actually do that, and just touching on the two methods to edit templates, either the storyboard or through the My Templates page. Here are some links for you. So there's a bunch of support documentation that we have on our website that goes over. There's actually one that goes over My Templates and how to create templates from scratch, which is another webinar session we'll be doing in the future, and also more like getting started topics, like how to set up your advertiser and how to deal with data feeds and stuff like that. There are going to be more of these webinars, so check out the registration page if you're interested and see what topics are coming up. And then I also just wanted to note these 3 sites as really good resources if you need stock images, because you can use the images for free and you don't need to credit the creator. Of course, they appreciate it, but you don't need to for use cases like this. It's very, very helpful. So, questions? Any questions? I'm just going to change my interface here and see if there are any questions in the chat. I don't see anything right now. Anybody have any questions? Okay, I think we're good. So that's it. So thank you so much for for being here today. I hope that was helpful. Don't hesitate to reach out to us at Adacado if you have any other questions. And good luck. Take care. Bye.